Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. My name is Asad Yaqub and once again I welcome you guys to my essay writing video. Be happy. I'm going to make this video on essay writing and this video is for those who've been requesting me for a long time that sir please make some latest videos on essay writing. You are covering all other modules but you are ignoring essay writing, so here I am with new stuff on essay writing and I'm going to share all these things with you. Well guys, let's just take a start. First of all, we are going to see what are the parts of the topic and then I'm going to tell you about types of essays and a lot of stuff about essay writing. After attending this workshop or after watching this video, you will be in a very good position. You'll be able to write essays, you'll be able to identify the essays, you'll be able to understand the topic and all that. Anyways, you can see on your screen we've got the topic and in the beginning of the topic it's written you should spend about 40 minutes on this task. This is how long you should spend. Next is write about the following topic, and then the topic is some people believe that the fast pace and stress of modern life is having a negative effect on families. Now this is what? This is the background statement or this is the background situation or this is actually a topic, and along with the topic there is a question. Now what is the question? To what extent do you agree or disagree? Now from this question you understand this is an opinion essay, right? It can be different as well. And then they write give reasons for your answer and include any relevant examples from your own knowledge or experience and write at least 250 words. That means how many words you should write. So at least 250 means it's just not that you have to apply the break at 250 words. You can write 280, 290, even up to 300 words you can write. Do not write beyond that because then that's not going to be that good. That will take more time. Proofreading will take more time. Writing will take more time. You will need extra answer sheet and all that stuff. So that might cost you some hassle. Okay, now the thing is this, in order to write a good essay, it's very important to understand the topic and the sequence, task sequence for Ielts essay writing. If you know the sequence of the task for essay writing, you can end up writing a good essay and you can get good bench score for that essay as well. In order to sequence Ielts essay writing, the first thing is you need to read the task question, read the background detail, read the topic sentence, read that instruction word, right? And then everything you got to read and you need to underline the important things as well. Then afterwards rephrase keywords in the task instructions. In the instructions, the words which they have given, you have to rephrase those words that okay, in other words this has got this meaning, this is the topic, this is the context of the topic and this is what I need to write on. Then try to establish the topic and the question type. You got to see what type of question. I mean you got to establish the topic and the question type, that okay, this is the topic and the essay type is advantages, disadvantages essay. This is the topic and the question type is opinion essay. This is the topic and the question type is discussion essay. This is the topic and the question type is problem and solution. So you need to develop the link between the topic and the essay type. Then plan the structure of the answer. Now you need to plan the structure. First paragraph introduction, 3 paragraphs in the body or 2 paragraphs in the body, then conclusion. So you need to make the structure and you should know according to the type of essay which structure is good. And then write your answer and proofread your answer if time permits, and I would say you must proofread your answer. If you make a plan, it will save your time, and when you write your essay or report, it ensures and cover all the, you make sure you cover all the key points in that. I mean for essay writing, make sure you cover the topic. I mean your essay should cover all the topic. That is very important. Now let's go on. This time I'm going to tell you about grading of writing task and how the writing task is graded and what is the criteria for that. Anyways, there are 4 criterias. The first one is task response, the second one is coherence and cohesion, the third one is lexical resource, and the fourth one is grammatical range and accuracy. Now one by one I'm going to explain what are they, or what is this criteria, and what is the requirement of this criteria. I mean, we know about this criteria, but just few of us know what is the requirement. So now I'm going to tell you the requirement as well. The first criteria is task response. Task response, this criterion assesses how well you have focused on the topic. Task response means how well you have focused on the topic and answered the question which was given for that very essay. This is the criteria for task response, and task response is equal to 25% of your essay if total is 100%. Well, now what is the requirement? You should note these things very carefully. I'm going to show you all these things on your screen as well. This video is going to be very useful for essay writing. Well, the requirement is, first thing is write over 250 words. Next, satisfy all the requirement of the task. I mean the topic and the type of essay, opinion, then you should give your opinion, you should give examples, you should give contrast and all that. Then cover all parts of the topic. I mean the topic has got 3-4 parts. If it is advantages, disadvantages, you must write 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. So you must cover all parts of the task or of the topic. Then cover all parts of the question and develop the main points. The main points are 2 advantages, 2 disadvantages. The main points are causes and solution. If it is problem solution essay, the main points are one discussion, one side of the discussion, and the other paragraph for other side of the discussion. So this is the main criteria, task response. Is that clear? Very good. Now let's go on. Second is coherence and cohesion. Now coherence and cohesion is also equal to 25%. Then out of these 4 criteria, they take average and then they give you the band score accordingly. So in other words, you can also understand that 9 band for task response, 9 band for coherence cohesion, and then they make average of all 4 and they give you the band score. Now what is coherence and cohesion? This criterion assesses how well you have structured your essay. When we talk about the structure of your essay, it has got the meaning of that is the proper paragraphing of your essay, right? Your essay looks like essay. Then within the essay, the ideas are well connected, the words are well connected. There is the proper coherence and cohesion, means the ideas flow. If you're giving a contrast, the first word of the sentence tells that this is contrast. If you're telling something on the other hand or on the contrary, that tells in the beginning that okay, this is something opposing. And if you're giving an example, you should write initially, for example, for instance. That's what we call coherence and cohesion. So you have structured your essay, used paragraphing and connected your ideas or not in the essay. That's what they check. Now what is the requirement? The requirement is sequence information and ideas logically. First, explain your point. First, mention your point. Then explain the point. Then give the relevant example and in one sentence conclude that very point. This is the logical sequence of ideas which you need to present. Next, use a range of cohesive devices appropriately. Many students use a range of cohesive devices but they do not use them appropriately, hence they get low band score just because of the excessive use of cohesive devices. So you got to use them appropriately. Appropriately means where it is required. Now for instance, if you are explaining something, then you can write by this I mean, furthermore, moreover. You're giving example, there you can write for instance. As an illustration, to illustrate. You're writing conclusion, you can write to conclude. In the final analysis, in conclusion, like that. So you need to use them appropriately. Overuse of cohesive devices will not give you any benefit. Then there is the next thing is use a range of cohesive devices. Use paragraphing appropriately. Introduction, Body paragraphs and conclusion, all the paragraphs should look separate. All the paragraphs must be balanced. All the paragraphs, if it is the body paragraph, they should be the topic sentence, explanation, example, conclusion, things like that. Then have a clear progression throughout. Clear progression means the essay progresses, right? I mean, for example, from introduction, when there is the transition from introduction to first body paragraph, there should be proper transition from first body paragraph to second body paragraph. For example, you start second body paragraph and you write secondly, second of all, first of all, and second of all is not appropriate. First of all, secondly, right, and then explain. So this is the transition which is actually required. Then avoid unnecessary repetition of information. Information means repetition of words. You can use the topic words a couple of times, there is no problem, and there are some words which you must use if it is a proper noun, but otherwise repetition of information in terms of repetition of ideas, repetition of words, repetition of phrases, repetition of same structure. I mean, you're using the same structure time and again. That will also give you the low badge score. Now, let's move on to lexical resource, and I'm going to tell you what is this criteria. This criterion assesses your vocabulary in terms of errors and also ability to use more advanced language. I've made a video where I've given some good words for simple words. Now don't use simple words, use those academic words, and there you're going to get good bench score. So lexical resource, this criterion assesses your vocabulary in terms of errors. I mean, if you use the words in wrong way, that, and also ability to use more advanced language. Now, what is the requirement for that? The requirement number one is use of vocabulary to allow some flexibility and precision. Means you know the alternative words. You know how to say one thing in two different ways, in three different ways. You are flexible in that. And you use the words precisely. You know that this word according to collocation is going to fit here. Then use less common vocabulary. The thing is, if you're using the common vocabulary, then you're going to get 5 bands because you're writing 5 bands vocabulary. So you need to improve your vocabulary, and I've given some examples in my 2 videos. You should watch them. Awareness of style and collocation. Now, awareness of style means you know about your writing style, that this is formal writing, essays are formal and you're using formal language in that. And collocations. Collocations are the group of words. We also call them chunks. The group of words that come together. A significant increase, right? A great idea, something like that. There are many collocations, you can Google them. Then avoid errors with word choices. When you're using a word, you should know whether that word is appropriate there or not. You know, sometimes you say, oh, thank you very much, you are praising me and I'm so happy. Now, praise is negative. Instead of that, you can say you are appreciating me. So, praise someone means you are doing something negative, right? And we've got another one. It's just like that. We say sometimes gossip. Yeah, I was gossiping with my friend. Gossip is a negative word. It's not a positive word. So you should actually know, the word choices which are appropriate. Then avoid errors with word formation. When you form the words, for example, when you make a noun or adjective or adverb, so there are some errors with that. And avoid errors with spelling. So these are the important things. Now, the last but not the least is grammatical range and accuracy. What do they mean by grammatical range and accuracy? Actually, the criteria is, this criterion assesses your grammar in terms of errors and also ability to use more advanced sentence structures. 2 things. The first thing is grammatical errors, grammatical mistakes, and the second thing is your ability to use more advanced sentence structures. Now, what are the more advanced sentence structures? They are complex sentences, compound sentences, conditional sentences, right? Then you can use the connecting words to join your sentences. So these type of sentence structures, then proper use of modal verb, tenses, which tense you are using and whether you are using that appropriately or not. So all these things are actually checked in this criterion, that is grammatical range and accuracy. Now what is the requirement? The requirement is that the candidate uses a mix of simple and complex sentences form. It does not mean that every sentence should be compound, every sentence should be complex. You can use simple and complex sentences together. For example, uses a mix of simple and complex sentence forms, then produce error-free sentences. That is important. Your sentences do not have grammatical errors. Whether they are simple or compound, there should not be any errors, and avoid errors with grammar and punctuation, which is another thing. So this is basically the criteria and the requirement for IELTS writing task 2, task 1, for essay writing, for report writing, for letter writing. And if you come up to this criteria, if your essays, your reports, your letters, they are correct according, or they follow this criteria, or if you, after watching this video, now you should try to follow this criteria, and definitely this is going to increase your bench score. This is just the first video. There's going to be a series of these videos, so you must watch the next video as well. If you like this video, hit the like button and don't forget to subscribe my channel. I run another channel, Asad Yaqub Vlogs. You can subscribe to that as well. And I have a Facebook page, Asad Yaqub IELTS. You must like my Facebook page as well. I also teach IELTS online. If you want to join my online IELTS classes, my WhatsApp number is given. You can contact me for that. Asad Yaqub wishes you all the best with your IELTS preparation, especially with your preparation with writing module. Take good care of yourselves. Allah Hafiz.